Okay, here we go again. I think I'm all ready for this. I was considering what to do tonight. I have about an hour free. I do want to go to bed at a reasonable time. Got a productive day tomorrow. Okay, here we go again. Oh, I think I'm ready for this. Here. There you go. Yeah, so I was considering doing something else, and then my wife said to me, she said, "Are you done your sword quest yet?" I had told her, or tried to tell her, I guess I should say, some tale about the time I tried to buy the silver sword and failed. And so she now thinks that Final Fantasy is called Sword Quest. So this is how much my wife knows about my gaming interests. The question I had posed that I haven't really got any feedback on so much was, something I should have thought about there. The question was, should I do the Earth Cave or should I attempt to walk to Crescent Lake? And I've decided to go to the Earth Cave. And I could either level more or I could take a crack at Lich. I'm leaning towards taking a crack at Lich. Fact is, well, I don't know, maybe leveling up some more. Maybe I'll do one run of leveling and then take a crack at Lich. But going to Crescent Lake is going to be a pain. Ultimately, you need to go to Crescent Lake for plot reasons eventually. Or maybe it's not plot so much as necessary item acquisition that only works after you beat Lich. And getting there and out is going to be such a huge pain, as I think we've observed, that any effort I can make to not do that more than once, I think is going to be, to say the least, helpful. So, yeah. These guys do good work. Shadows, no particular issue. Maybe I should be grinding here. I don't know if anything poisons me though. I really just want to avoid the poison. Then again, maybe I should be seeking it out with my fighter being positioned at the bottom. Who have I got there? Tick. And Tick is the tank of the group, taking the fewest possible hits. Is this a run at Lich? Let's give a run at Lich a try. And maybe it's just a bit of an experiment, but let's see how it goes. It's not like we're short on heal potions. I don't have a map handy, so I'm going to do this a bit by memory, but I remember this game reasonably well. This floor always confuses me. Yeah, well, we'll pretty much make a beeline for Lich. Avoid all treasure, because the treasure here is pretty stupid other than the coral sword. Oh, this is going to work out well. Wait, is it going to work out well? There's some kind of glitch with the positioning with status effects. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try healing Mars, because Mars has better defense anyway. And frankly, at this point, he's no longer the asset that Luki is. You'll notice Luki's damage is mostly totally freaking crazy. Although his next milestone isn't until he gains a couple more hits, which is a while off. Oh, see, this is nice. For those who aren't aware of what I'm doing, a forum has randomly banned aspects of game... Not randomly, purposefully. Banned aspects of gameplay, and some of the things that were banned, one thing that's notable is the select button is banned. So since I'm playing, like, it's no secret how I'm playing this, right? Because of the nature of the way I'm playing this, I've just chosen not to map the select button, so I literally can't use the select button even if I wanted to. And I do want to, it should be noted, but that would be going against the rules of the challenge. And it wasn't even originally presented as a challenge. I just had banned something. in the forum. So, is it a challenge? I don't know. I've got a bunch of rules. Seems challenge-like. Why do those guys keep going first? That is improbable. So, I haven't really reviewed the rules lately. I only intend to play for an hour. I don't expect anything super exciting to happen here. This will be exciting now. Anyway, let's talk about the rules. All 4 characters may not be alive at the same time. That is why Wood is dead right now. So, Wood hasn't been dead the whole game. I've been rotating who's dead the whole game. And part of the purpose in rotating who's dead, part of my intention is, I want to keep one of the fighters dead in the early game, because the fighters are so overpowered and useful against a later boss like Kraken. I'll definitely want both fighters alive, whereas Mars won't be as important at the time. Especially given some of my other rules, but we'll get to that. So, part of the gist of it is, right now I'm working to keep Tick and Wood dead in general, or one of them I should say, not both. And I'm working really hard to keep Lukey alive. It's not incredibly important or worthwhile, but black belts do have better stat growth in the early game, to put it simply. So I'm trying to get Lukey to be my highest level character. Doesn't matter a lot, but it's a thing. I'm going to just be patient here, because why not? This would go a lot faster if I used magic, but I think I might want to keep my magic. I wonder if I broke my challenge rules against the vampire and accidentally used Fire 2 twice. Because, that's something there. But, you know, even if I did, it didn't matter. That fight was a runaway, so I'm not going to consider that to have broken the challenge, even if it is a thing that happened. Anyway, okay. So my next rule is I may not use more than 1 spellcasting item per battle. There are a lot of spellcasting items, especially in the, well, even the mid to late game. They start being kind of game-breaking if used right. Among them, there's the heal staff and heal helmets, and those have the ability to cast a low-level heal spell again and again and again. And so if you find yourself in a fight where you destroy every enemy but one, you find one with low damage potential, or you otherwise make yourself immune to that thing's attacks, and it's possible, you can just heal, and then it ends up being that the enemy is no longer a threat at all. So I think what Beej was trying to do was reduce the significance of items like heal helmet, heal staff, and the defense sword. The defense sword casts a very powerful defensive ability. No big surprise there, I guess. So no more than 1 spell casting item. That also includes, there's a few items that I haven't got to yet that can cast group damaging spells. Nothing crazy, but very much simplifies combat against large groups of enemies, which at certain points would have been really helpful. El Comanda banned entering shops more than once. He clarified in the forum, which is good because I've ended up semi-breaking that rule, that applies to weapon shops, armor shops, and magic shops. So I've actually entered nearly every shop to this point, except the level 3, I believe, just the level 1 and 3 white magic shops. I could be wrong about that, but I believe that's it. Fast forwarding is not banned. That was weird. That was a low damage fight. That was kind of strange. Goat Fishman, who I pronounce his name differently sometimes, or emphasize, I suppose it's not pronouncing, banned, or it wasn't really, what he banned was called not appreciating nature. I banned not appreciating nature, he said. And by that he means, when I touch a forest tile on the world map, I must walk through every square of that forest for it to be considered a appreciated. Which in a lot of cases doesn't matter a whole lot. Oh, this could be kind of crappy. But there are certain points where it's terrible. Notably the walk to Provoca in the early game. That was kind of a big deal in my first couple sessions. I'm using a lot of potions, but you know what? That's okay, because I don't really have a ton to spend my money on. Do I? I have a lot of money. Here's the place where you use the rod that I got in the last session. So the plate shatters, revealing a stairway. Hooray. Here we are, we're in the deep Earth Cave now. Do I remember which way to go? I feel like it's top left. Wizards are a real pain in the early game. I don't think it'll be that bad now. Two rounds? Not bad at all. And they have a bit of a payout too. So the forest thing, yeah, there's a few points where... Oh, I went to a treasure room. Darn. The treasure will not be worth the time, especially given the resources I have now. Just forget it. Oh, this one's interesting. This will go a lot faster with magic, but let's not, because it's not very threatening. Late game, you have to walk to a town that's completely surrounded by forest. In fact, you have to park very far away from it in a ship. Airship, spoiler alert. And you have to walk all the way to the city. And it's kind of the part I've been dreading since the beginning, honestly. I estimate it. It's an estimation for some reason. Probably 400 tiles, and I would have to walk them there and back. And so that's going to be drawn out in such a way that it uses a lot of resources. Given my limited access to magic and spellcasting items, it's going to be a pretty big drain, to say the least. So, not appreciating nature, yeah, that's a pretty significant challenge element. It's not that it's... Oh, screw this. It's not that it's some crazy... Oh my gosh, that's going to challenge fresh and ruin everything. It's just more like... I would really like that fire to go off now, thank you. It's... that was good timing. It's more like it's going to change the way I play, and it's going to change the way that game goes. Given that one of my later rules is I can't run, these things are going to compound and become complicated. Okay, so that's the not appreciating nature rule, Goat Fishman. I must get the airship before going to Ordeals or Gugu Volcano. That'll be good. I can't cure status effects because of one of these rules too, so I sure hope that lightning goes off quick. Oh. This... Oh. Well, we've got one option, don't we? Thank you so much, rules. Rule makers. That one was action. Although really, actions rule didn't affect anything, technically. Actions rule is, I can only cure a status effect at I skipped one there, but we'll come back to it. I can only cure status effects at a town with a clinic, or in battle. But you can't cure stone in battle in this weirdly Final Fantasy game. So, boy, this is just downright crappy. This is me fast forwarding. There's no error on the part of your screen now. we're just gonna go back to town. Fuck this. Yeah, so it can't cure stone in battle, so really that last thing, there was no way to avoid it. That was just bad luck. That was bad luck, and having more party members could have helped to avert it. Controlling my party order could have helped to avert it, but basically that was just doomed anyway. Getting the airship before going to Ordeal's or Gurgu Volcano means I have to do the ice cave after the earth cave. The ice cave, most Final Fantasy vets know, is kind of the, what do you call it, that one dungeon? Maybe the wake-up call dungeon, except there are actually a couple of those. Better hold reset when I turn the power off. So, yeah, Des 223's rule is just forcing my route through the game in a slightly annoying way. It wouldn't have been my choice. That said, given the way the magic items are banned and some other factors, doing ordeals first is not the huge benefit it normally would be. So, frankly, it's not that bad. It's a good rule. Actions thing about the status effects I already talked about. So then Diamond Dragon had one, and it's explained in the forum thread related to this playthrough a bit with less brevity. But I'll say it as a different warrior must be dead as each fiend is defeated. It was something like, basically, to keep rule number 1 about all 4 characters not being alive, to keep that from being just a 3-person party challenge. So, ideally, I'll beat Lich with 1 person alive. That's the ideal. Because then that means as long as that person is dead during subsequent fiends, I haven't broken the challenge. But, yeah, I have to change, I have to have a different person dead against each fiend. So, having more people dead will actually be to my benefit, but otherwise it's going to get hard to force a different party member to be dead every time. And really it'll work out either way, but Zomble banned the select button, which is actually quite amusing, as the select button is used for reordering the party mainly. It forces me to have crappy party orders like this one. Normally you would have your fighter at the top because he's got crazy defensibility. Right now I've actually got them in the total backwards order. And order matters. Your first party member is targeted far more often in this game, so... I may not run, thanks to Hierophant 2, the briefest contribution to the rules, and not the simplest. Maybe the simplest. Not the... What I'm trying to say is he screwed me, basically. Yeah. Yeah, not running is a big deal. It was a different... I think I talked about this in one of my first couple sessions. They had terrible audio, so I'll do the spiel again. Final Fantasy is a very interesting game, if you're thinking of modern games, in that running is important. And besides, like, MMOs, maybe, arguably, it's not in modern gaming. But you had a limited pool of resourcing, and running was a realistic option, but more modern JRPGs, especially Square Enix ones, are not designed for you to run from combat. Generally, you need a certain number of levels, and the best way to do it is fight every battle, and, you know, what's considered a well-balanced game, for some reason, no running is required. You look at Chrono Trigger, right? There's potential to lose at Chrono Trigger if you don't know what you're doing. No one runs in Chrono Trigger. You know, a lot of people aren't even aware that functionality exists in that game, I don't think. You look at Final Fantasy 4, 5, 6. You don't really run from battle in those games. The situation is not called for, and you need the experience from beating the enemies. Besides bosses, battles are pretty much completely trivial. So, isn't it funny the way their HP lines up like that? Anyway, running is, to put it one way, integral to the gameplay of Final Fantasy 1, and to have that banned is significant. Oops, that was, whatever. Okay, 3rd floor of the Earth Cave. No cockatrices, please. Normally I wouldn't fear cockatrices. In fact, they're a really good cash game. There's just too much danger with 3 party members, and bonus, being unable to cure status. I think at some point I bought soft potions. I don't even know why I did that. That's stupid. I guess they'll be handy to cure it at a town, but they aren't doing me a lot of good. So under Hierophant's rule, we've got you may not use any spell or its item cast equivalent more than once in a battle. So yeah, this is strictly designed to limit me using the same spells. It makes certain things that you would kinda spam in a battle less potent. Things like Fast, which is still a very good spell, and I'm absolutely still going to make use of it. But it's not the powerhouse it normally is. And given that the item cast equivalent is ruled out, that means things like it's not possible to use the defense sword multiple times to get giant defense in battle. Didn't I just do this? So at this point in talking through the rules, I should say there's a few reasons that mages are becoming devalued. Things like not using spells and spellcasting items more than once, not being able to use the select button. There are a lot of reasons why I might avoid using magic-using characters, primarily magic-using characters. I have a personal tendency that I don't like using the same character classes more than once. I'm glad Tick went first. The specters hit hard. Or can. Okay, that was good. Well, that was not good, but we survived. Yeah, whatever. So there's a few reasons to avoid using mages, and I ended up with this party partly as a result. So then I got this rule that was kind of crazy. It was from Zonk Miles. And the rule is non-mages can't use the magic command, and people who gain magic at the class change can only use the fight command. So this means, for one thing, that the ninja isn't that good, and for, like, it's not a significant upgrade over the thief, really, less so than usual. But it also means, sorry, I'm having trouble multitasking. The mages not being able to use the fight command is kind of crazy, especially with only being able to use each spell once per battle. So once we class change, Mars is going to be in a bit of a funny situation. It means the game might temporarily be harder after class change, unless I'm quite over leveled, actually. So as one consequence of that, Mars is going to have fewer options after class change. Yeah, so I didn't want to bring a black mage who's very, very dependent. I don't know, a black mage. There are arguments both ways, I guess. At least the spell variety is better for red mages in the lower spell levels. They have fewer actual spells. There's enough other advantages to the non. I don't know. I might put off class change a bit because I'm starting to worry myself about how this is going to go later. Anyway, yeah. After class change, things are going to get complicated. Black belt may not use nunchucks, which is an interesting thing to ban, but it's really done having an impact. Nunchucks would be a huge downgrade at this point. This is going well. I mean, I hate to jinx myself, but damage is done, right? I can't use warp or exit. Is that likely to have a consequence? I don't know. You know, with my ability to cure status effects hindered, and my ability to run hindered, getting out of dungeons fast would have been of huge benefit, and I can't do that now. I wouldn't have been able to do that until after class change anyway, I don't believe, because Red Wizards can't learn warp or exit until that point. But if I had chosen a different party, and that wasn't locked down at that point, I don't think. No big deal. Yeah, it would have influenced things. And I was also told I can't use the Thief, which really, if I hadn't been told that, I was reasonably likely to pick Fighter, Thief, Black Belt, Red Mage, just for variety's sake, but now I don't really have a choice, and I don't see the benefit. I think it would be hard within these rules to effectively use a black wizard, certainly. If there were a reason I had to, I think that I probably wouldn't class change, but I'm not sure. I think I'll have to class change before the Sea Shrine, but I think I'm going to do the Volcano before the later dungeons. We're actually getting pretty close to the boss, and I think I'll be able to win, although I could be proven wrong in a dramatic fashion. This would have been a really nice time to be able to run, because this is a low benefit, high risk, but I have a chance to strike first. I'm going to use Ice 2, partially because Ice 2 isn't especially effective against the upcoming boss. So this should wipe the encounter, otherwise I'm going to be very disappointed. Oh, no. Okay, let's not get poisoned now, gents. Good. This is great. I'm really happy that I'm going to be flobbering Lich in about 6 seconds. Nice. Here we go. This is super. Me saying that is going to be really cool in the clip where Lich kills me and I publish this as a highlight. Oh, an evil shape. A trapezoid. Okay. We're going to whip out... I wonder if I can get A-Ice before him. That would be so nice that it's hard not to. So I'm doing it. Nice! That's huge. I think. I don't remember the spell art. But I think it's really good. Oh, 19 damage. Oh, that's... Oh. Mars, you're the MVP. You're the real MVP. Okay. Need to use fast. I can only use it once. I'm going to use it on Tick. He did more damage in the first round. He's got better penetration power, I believe, than Lukey, although I haven't actually... Oh, and plus that. So, bonus. Oh, he's on the ropes. Now we're going to break out Fire 2. This should do it. Yeah, we got him. This is exciting. Oh, and levels. Or a level. That's super cool. Who would have thought I'd win, and before I can get to Crescent Lake? Fun message. Everyone try and find this one on all the altars. Hey, that gray thing didn't show up. Must be a problem with my authentic cartridge. I do have the authentic cartridge. It's in my basement. I still intend to show it on the stream. As a fun fact, it has my initial on it, so I might want to cover it up so you can't all add me on LinkedIn or something creepy like that. But I do actually have my Final Fantasy cartridge. Yeah, my mom, there was a time when as a child, my mom wrote my name in whiteout on all my games because I kept lending them to people and not getting them back. So several of my games, the ones with light labels have it in a black permanent marker, and the ones with dark labels, like Final Fantasy, have it written in whiteout. I don't know if they all do, but many. I feel like Battletoads doesn't, which is funny, because I definitely owned it at the time. I'm a big Battletoads fan. I've never legitimately beat it beginning to end, I have to tell you, but I can get to level 11 on my own. Okay. I don't know that this is going to happen. That I'm basically committing to it now. Which is interesting, because I have this ridiculous black belt leading my party, and he could get slaughtered by peds just like he used to be. But let's see. Peds are tough. We all need to target the peds. Oh my goodness. That was a rough start. This is me now because of Goat Fishman's rule, which I agonized about a lot the last time I tried to walk to Crescent Lake. I must touch every tile of forest to continue. Oh, that was quite fortunate, and I didn't even watch it happen. Holy moly. I'm saving right here. The relevance of this is now the next thing to do. I'm so confident that this is going to happen that I'm basically committing to it now. Which is interesting, because I have this ridiculous black belt leading my party, and he could get slaughtered by peds just like he used to be. But let's see. Peds are tough. We all need to target the peds. Oh my goodness. That was a rough start. This is me now because of Goat Fishman's rule, which I agonized about a lot the last time I tried to walk to Crescent Lake. I must touch every tile of forest to continue. Oh, that was quite fortunate, and I didn't even watch it happen. Holy moly. Yeah. Gonna have to do something about that HP. Beautiful music fills the air. That's exactly what I wanted. Say what you will about the quality of the Final Fantasy series, the menus have improved. One of my favorite, I talk about it often, but one of my favorite games ever is Phantasy Star 4. And I've done challenges for that, and I talk about it all the freaking time. I'm not a fan of this fight. Phantasy Star 4 has a lot of good interface elements relative to other games of its day. One thing it doesn't have that I really wish it did is one of those things where when you're purchasing equipment, it would tell you whether it was an upgrade or not. The game isn't strategic enough that that's really a giant big deal, but it is a nice thing when we started seeing that in Final Fantasy VI or so. Of course, in Final Fantasy VI, the guide that told you whether a piece of equipment was a benefit for you was basically a giant lie. It was based strictly on defensive values that really weren't that important, so maybe I should have left Lukey poison. That would have been smart. Did I just do something dumb? I think I might have done something dumb. Oh, this is nasty. We're gonna ice 2 these guys. I really liked that A-ice that actually was significant. That was a proud, proud moment. Oh, a cobra ran away. That's funny. They always say snakes are more afraid of you than you are of them. That was terrible. It didn't kill one of... Oh, it killed the one that Tick was going to kill. That's super. What is happening with this game? I don't want the cobras to run away when they're dying. Okay, so I'm covering off every square, or that's the idea. Oops, whatever. That was not a big deal. The cobras aren't bad at all, but they've got a nasty critical hit rate. So there's this off chance that the fight will be terrible. They're just missing Lukey repeatedly, that's A-okay. Probably because he took off his heavy, heavy bracelet. The bracelet and the, I think it was gloves he's wearing, or a cap. I think gloves. They both have a minor evade penalty. So his absorb rating, or defense, is the same regardless of whether he's wearing armor or not, just because of the nature of him being a monk and his level right now. But his evade is slightly higher without. So by taking that stuff off, technically he does dodge more often, although it's probably very hard to observe or notice at all. Observe and notice are kind of the same thing, but don't stick the synonym police on me. You know what's great? The Scott Pilgrim movie, the part with the vegan police. It was entertaining. I'm not interested in Lukey dying. But he probably will. So, fire is a troll weakness, so I kind of thought that might make a big impact. It made a moderate impact. Moderate impacts are good. Okay, Lukey's dead. That is unfortunate, because I wanted to gain experience, but really it's okay. And I'm really close to being done the top portion here. I walked all the tiles except for the ones closest to the river. So if I'm really smart, and we've observed I'm not, I'm going to use a tent momentarily. Yeah. We will save here. Mars and Tick are going to make it, I'm determined. So they just have to walk through every tile to our left. We've done all the other ones. We are appreciating the hell out of nature for our dead friend Wood, the nature enthusiast. I did decide that the characters have personalities and just not really a big roleplay sort, so I've been semi-abandoning that idea. Tick is supposed to be obsessed with death. The idea is that Tick is the one who insists that there are different people alive for every battle with every fiend. This one's not going to be too fun. Let's see if we can speed it up a little. Oh no. Well, at least there's this. I wonder if I'll even remember that I was KO'd there for the highlights as party kills. I have enough magic that I can start doing things like this. Make the fights easier with a little magic. Okay. What was I talking about? I was talking about Tick. Yeah, Tick is obsessed with death. Mars is obsessed with himself. He's kind of a fashion plate sort. So he's the guy who says we can never shop in the same place twice because that's not fashionable. Luki is a min-maxer. He is obsessed with being the strongest, even when it doesn't make sense. And that's why he's a monk that's trying to gain lots of experience before class change. That's my own idea. I mean, I guess they're all my own idea, but... and then Wood is a nature enthusiast of some sort. He likes hiking and long walks where he picks up fallen birds' nests and brings them back to his house. And then his wife makes them throw them out. This is a good Ice 2. This is how Ice 2s are supposed to work. Very nice, Mars. You should be proud of yourself. That was nice. And Tick gained a level. Mars gained... Oh, how satisfying is this? We're gonna make it. And even if we don't, at this point, I'm not gonna feel that stupid because I tented not that far away. But I'm pretty sure we're gonna make it. We would need a lot of peds to make a big problem now. Which is not to say it couldn't happen. Okay. That's it. You know that was going to be like Warmack showing up. That would have been really cool. I think that's the exact... I could be wrong, but I think that's the exact tile where the Peds showed up before. Okay. Here we are. Crescent Lake. I'm very proud. I don't intend to play way longer, but I'm just glad we got here. I should probably do some shopping to make sure I don't make shopping errors. Okay. Let's save. I think the item shop here has heal potions at the top. Yeah. So let's take a moment and stock up all our heal potions. Very important resources. We're going to Ice Cave next, so I don't know. Might want a house. That way I can use magic on the way there. I think I have a couple of houses, but there's it's a good time to invest in real estate. At least where I live. Where I live, there's a highway coming in nearby, and the value of my house has gone up a kind of stupid amount in a not very long amount of time. Actually, about 2 years ago, my family and I moved on the same street because we realized, for one thing, our neighbors were students. Living next to students, college students, not super fun. It was almost a movie with Seth Rogen in it, but I'm not as funny as Seth Rogen. Okay, here I am in the armor shop. This is what I call a mistake. I should have thought about what I was doing before I did it. Okay. Don't need this. I suppose I don't need this ever again either. No, I don't. The gloves could still be handy. Buy. Silver armor, I do not need. Silver shield, I do need. For tip. I don't exactly need one for wood, because I'll be getting an elemental item. But you know, I have lots of money. Let's just do it right. Not make mistakes. Let's also get our Red Mage a buckler, which I believe he can equip. Silver helmet. Tick already has one, but Wood does not. And again, I'm gonna do a play it safe. We have lots of money. Let's get everything right. Silver gauntlet. If I remember correctly, Mars can use it after class change, but not before. I'm not even positive on that, but I don't think it'll be the biggest deal if I forget it. So, need one for Tick, and need one for Wood. This is going to be a difference. Watch me have made a critical error here. I didn't need the armor. This is the right armor. This is good. This is great. This is great. So Tick's absorb rating is 44. Mars is 22. Maybe even got a good order right now. Not that I really expect everyone to live forever. Let's see if we can get a weapon upgrade. Do these people sell the silver sword? For some reason I thought they did, but I think that might have been an error on my part. There is a silver sword. I think it's generally better than the silver axe, but there's a certain hit threshold you can get pushed over. The silver axe is so minor better, I'm actually going to count the hit rate as an advantage. And I'm going to get the silver sword for Tick, and the silver sword for Mars. I don't think I'll ever need more than that, because I'll start getting really good swords reasonably soon. Silver is better than coral. No, critical rate. Silver and wear. I'm pretty sure silver beats it for any realistic purpose. I'm pretty sure the same is true of the coral. I'm doing it. We don't need a great axe. It's not that great. May as well keep that, just for the event that I do something else ridiculous. Okay. Is that good? Did I forget anything? That was me going to the sell menu for a moment just to confirm I had actually bought a silver sword. Hit rate 70. Is that a new hit threshold for me? I wasn't paying attention. I think it might be. So what that means is Tick gets 3 hits by default and 6 if I use fast on him. I'm feeling prepared. Now I know there are things that can go wrong. So now the question is, or a question is, how about Mars's magic? He's got level 5 spell charges. I'm going to want Fire 3, probably Cure 3. I had a plan for this at some point. Cure 3, Fire 3, Slow Flee, Fog 2, Inv 2, and Lit 3. Fog 2 and Lit 3 especially, I will want. So, yeah, I don't think any of the other black magic spells for level 6 are really gonna call Mars's name, but I hate looking at the prices in Crescent Lake. Like, 620,000 gold? This is madness. Or level 620,000? No way. Could have done some better formatting here, guys. Look at what the hackers can do. I think Lit 3 is the only What? Oh, I picked the wrong guy. Oh. You need to be a wizard to learn Lit 3? I forgot. Well, that's kind of crappy. I think that might mean I'm banned from entering that store again. Maybe I should restore my save. Lit 3. Do I need Lit 3? Let's restore my save. That way I can do the challenge legitimately and not lose something significant, right? I'm gonna have to do my shopping over again. Including this thing. Bear with me, you're looking at the same damn thing again, but, you know, I want to do it right. If I don't step on every forest tile, I'm not going to cry about it, but if I enter that store, I shouldn't go back in that store again. And I figure by restoring my save, I'm allowed to go back in that store, because it's as if it didn't happen. In the other case, I wouldn't have done that, because I hadn't saved right before. At least I don't think I had. So, I'm going to consider this fully legit. Get a couple houses. Eventually I'm going to need a giant stock of houses anyway, I think, for the Le Fen approach. Okay, here we go. Tick needs Iron Shield, Iron Gauntlet. Mars needs nothing? Or he gets a buckler. Lukey no longer, well, this was just holding, and the silver bracelet we'll never need again. And wood, I'm going to get him the same stuff. So I talked through this before, I'd be silly talking through it now. I'll just do it the fast way while also making sure I don't walk out of the store without getting the things I need. So, shield for tick. Gauntlet for tick. Shield for wood. Helmet for wood. Gauntlet for wood, I think. Buckler for Mars. Is that all I need? That's good. That's good. I think that's good, right? For now. You don't need anything? Okay. I would hate to make a mistake there. For the same reason I would hate to walk into a magic shop and not buy anything because of an oversight on my part. Yeah. I'm gonna buy silver swords before I sell all my stuff and leave like a nincompoop. You know, I said before I was going to keep the longsword for contingency. It makes a lot more sense to keep the other things for contingency. Okay. Here we go. Weapon. Silver. Weapon. Wood you get where? Love that sound. I'm getting all the slots exactly lined up the same. I'm doing this compulsively to make sure I haven't missed something. So everyone's got, well, and yeah. There we go. If my behavior is strange during this run, this part of this run, it's because I'm a little bit giddy about having succeeded, and my power level has actually increased pretty dramatically, pretty quickly here. I'm so happy to get to Crescent Lake. This has been, like, one of my goals for 3 weeks-ish. Longer? Normally you beat this game in 3 hours. Where's the canoe guy? Canoe, give me the canoe. good. Now let's never come to Crescent Lake again. Oh, we'll need level 6 magic. But you know what? That is Future Fresh's problem. Is there a way to get out of here without going through forest? That would be so nice. I think I have to go through forest. Oh, silver swords. You have improved my life. Oh, I just walked in forest. Okay then. Guess what? It was an accident. That'll probably happen a lot now that I have the canoe. I remember in one of the earlier sessions, I got this, the sound went all wonky, went kind of grindy sounding. I'm glad that hasn't happened again. And it wasn't my sound, it wasn't my mic or anything, it was like the emulated sound of the game was... Someone gave it this instruction to make it sound like the NES was underwater or something. I've also got this perfect party order right now. I feel like everything just suddenly fell into place. I feel like I'm gonna have to have some terrible wake-up call. I do want to go to bed, but let's at least get out of this forest. So my plan hereafter is I think I should go buy level 5 magic because Mars has some slots for it. And then I'll be able to access the ice cave, which is my next destination, from kind of a river inlet up north without going through tons and tons of local rivers. You guys have more than 170 HP? It's a bit extreme. So I won't have to come back to Crescent Lake for a good long time. I see no reason to come back here until I have the airship. Once I do the ice cave, which I am forced to do as my next destination, getting the airship is not really a big deal. So that'll be the order of things. Oh, got a monk in the front again. Yeah, that is silly, but who cares? Why didn't I just cure them both? I've had better ideas. Great, fighter on the bottom again. That was a calculated risk. That I calculated poorly, evidently. Okay, so the line parallel to the easternmost shore of Crescent Lake has now been fully covered. Yeah, that grindy noise. The sound I was describing a moment ago, it was as if that grindy noise were permanent, actually, as I recall. Doing a lot of battle fast forward now. Because it's strange. I feel like battles got way easier when I got the silver swords. Way, way easier. We'll see what I say when 4 Peds get the chance to strike first. But it should be noted that if I accidentally take one step into the river, I do not consider myself to have to walk on every freaking tile of forest again. I took it pretty seriously at the first town. I still wouldn't have done that. There were a couple times I stepped like off and onto the grass accidentally in the first town. No, I'm not going to walk through every forest tile again. The nature is still being appreciated. That's the big concern, right? The appreciation of nature. This is the Final Fantasy I environmentalist quest, starring Deadwood. Huh, I didn't realize he was Deadwood. Maybe I should keep him dead for thematic reasons. I like when Ice 2 kills things. There was that one time, and it might be one of those battles erased from history, but one of those times when Ice 2 didn't seem to kill very much. Oh, look at that. That's a bit of a pain in the butt. So, although my whole party hasn't been, well, I mean, my whole party hasn't been alive since our first battle, but it's been a long time since, or a reasonably long time in the scope of things, since Wood was alive. Where was I going with this? Is everyone gonna level? Okay. Where was I going with that? Oops, that was a total accident. Wasted 3,000 gold there. Thankfully, it's not gonna make or break my quest. Is there anything good I could do with a canoe and reasonable level? Oh, what I was going to say was, my 3 party members who are alive right now are slightly over-leveled for this point in the game, I would say. Slightly, but over-leveled. Admittedly, they're at a slight disadvantage because of, you know, all the disadvantages. But they're slightly over-leveled, so I wonder if maybe the Ice Cave won't be that bad. Call me optimistic. Where the hell am I? Oh, here we are. What's happening here? Oops. So here I want Fire 3, and I think I decided that Slow 2 would be the best investment, magically. Bane is going to be redundant with a spellcasting item later. Can't cast Cure, can't cast Heal, can't cast Exit. Am I stupid? Where is the black magic shop in this town? So, Slow 2. Can't cast Warp. Can't cast... No point to Bane. Can't cast Warp. Slow 2 is reasonable. Can't cast Health 3. Can't cast... Or Heal 2. Can't cast Harm 2. Life... Oh, can't cast Life, actually, because of Actions rule. So, actually, the only things that make sense are getting Fire 3, Slow 2, Maybe that'll be handy for certain bosses. And Cure 3, finally a Cure spell. It's actually super simple. Yeah. This makes sense, right? Yes. So I'm thinking about the day when I bought the level 2 magic, which was actually fairly long into this quest. It was partly because I realized I'll want some kind of default attack at the point where Mars can no longer attack with weapons. Oh, well, whatever. These guys are. So I think I need level 1 black magic for Mars. Level 1 bruise doesn't really make sense because we could use the defense sword. Can't cast harm 3. Fog, silly without layering. Yeah, this is me actually debating how to get level 1 spells. I think ultimately I'm going to want him to have Cure. Sleep is stupid. So I'm just thinking through the options here. I think I might want him to have Fire. Do I also want him to have Lit? And is it really going to make a difference? The other white options, we got Fog, that won't do anything too big. Cure. Fire. Alert. I think I'm going to get him Lit. It's silly that I didn't do this much earlier. But I'm just thinking of when he doesn't have an attack anymore. I'm going to want him to do something. He can only use one spell casting item. Maybe Fog makes more sense. I think it might. Lit and Fire are both crappy attacks. The reason I chose Fire, frankly, the reason I chose Fire, and that shop is now banned for life for me, is kind of the way it lines up here. We got Fire, Fire 2, Fire 3. So now, when I go to get my level 1 white magic, I'll probably get Fog and Cure. Maybe that'll be beneficial. Hard to be sure at this point. But you know, it's level 1 black magic. Nothing there is going to break the game. I'm being overly careful about this. Frankly, in late game I'm probably going to end up super over leveled because I can't run and I have to fight a ridiculous number of battles around the fen. So, after class change, things might stop mattering. I may have possibly gained all the levels I'm going to need. I'm noticing my pure supply is still declining though. Wouldn't it be interesting if Final Fantasy 1 had a closed economy? The monsters only got the money you won from them by attacking shops. I'm just thinking about how strange the economy is in this game. Oh, I see you came back with more money than our town has ever seen. The biggest city on the planet. Yeah. Could never be too prepared, right? Lots of tents, lots of piers, lots of heals, so we're good. Okay. And now I'm going to stop, but now I'm prepared for something useful. The next big endeavor is going to be the ice cave. Yuck. I think we'll be okay. Fire 3 will probably help. This is going to be good. Let's approach this with positive energy in our hearts. Thank you.